Yeah, 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 come and take a look at the snow. Bright white as far as your eyesight goes. Come and take a look at the fields of snow. I'll just get my coat, then we're good to go. Come and take a look at the lake. Let's have a quick skate before it gets late. Come and take a look at the frozen lake. Put your clothes on, mate, don't make that mistake.
Greetings, holiday shoppers. There are now 69 shopping days left until Christmas. You know what that means, friends. It's time for another episode of Christmas Creeps, your one-stop shop for holiday movies and TV shows all year round. My name is Joseph Wade. I will be your host this evening. Here with me tonight is Mr. Bradford. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. It's been a hectic couple of months, but you know we're glad to be back in the saddle for Home for the Horrordays. And I kind of apologize to Brad tonight for what we're gonna do for October.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. Well, the long and short of it is we decided that we wanted to explore the options that Tubi had available to us. So we're calling this October Octubi.
Is that where you're going with this?
Sure, why not? Because we found two pieces of Christmas horror trash on Tubi, and, you know, we are the Christmas horror trash podcast, I guess. So, you know, we're in our wheelhouse tonight, folks. We're going to be covering the 2023 found footage horror film Werewolf Santa.
This only came out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought this was way older. Maybe I'm thinking the other film.
No. We've reached kind of a point with, like filmmakers trying to get in on the Christmas horror gimmick where it's just like we're just flooded with it all the time now. It's kind of hard to differentiate a lot of this stuff.
Well, it's this one. This one's definitely different, but maybe not in the way that they wanted it to be, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean I'll give them this. It does what it says on the tin.
It does. There is a werewolf Santa.
This is very true. But before we jump into it, it's been a while since we've gotten to do this, and I want to do this now.
Okay.
But there we go.
What you got?
Crack it open, friends. Can check. Tonight I am drinking a. Okay, I forgot I had this. So our local brewery, Foothills Brewing, has released a selection of folklore-themed beers to our local grocery store chain, Lowe's Foods.
Okay.
And this is the Beer Den Rumpelstiltskin, a Southern German-style Hefeweizen ale.
Sounds nice.
That's nice and light, yeah.
I'm breaking kayfabe a little bit. I have to go pick up my daughter from school, so I think drinking a beer before picking up my daughter from school is probably a bad look. So I am drinking a nice awesome tea.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being responsible. I applaud the effort, sir.
And it's kind of on brand since this film takes place in jolly old England.
That's true, yes.
Not so jolly because everybody's kind of acrimonious and terrible to one another, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, and then we can get into this fairly quickly because, first of all, this is a very short movie. It's only 71 minutes long, which I'm so thankful for.
So, yeah, I'm thankful for that as well. I think you can already tell how we feel about this movie before we even get into it, but...
Yeah, I mean, we'll say it again, like, Tubi is full of trash, and... You know, maybe we're the marks for seeking it out in the first place, but then we're also doing you a service by highlighting some of these things so that you, the listener, can decide if this is something you want to explore or not.
You know what? Filmmaking is an art. Somebody got paid for practicing their art.
I'll tell you who got paid on this one. It's Joe Bob Briggs.
Joe Bob Briggs. Like you said, they probably blew most of their budget on a cameo of Joe Bob Briggs reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" at the beginning.
Yeah, okay, so the film opens on like quote unquote animated sequence of a drawing of Joe Bob Briggs, the famous TV horror movie host from The Last Drive-In, doing a voiceover as he reads "Twas the Night Before Christmas," and then he's basically just says, "Hi, folks, I'm Joe Bob Briggs. Here's the movie," and then he's gone.
He got paid.
He got paid.
So this movie is a movie. It is a film with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Okay, yeah, give me the 5th grade book report version, like you didn't watch the movie.
Werewolf Santa. Am I able to at least read the back of the DVD, or
yeah,
am I going off of the title alone? Okay,
no, you go for
it. Werewolf Santa is a movie that takes place in the United Kingdom where a lady has to hunt down Werewolf Santa and save Christmas, even though she doesn't want to. The end.
That's the long and short of it.
I don't know, man. No.
It's remarkable to me how little interest even the characters have in being in their own movie.
Yes. So I think buying the biggest thing for me, right? That the energy that this movie brings to the table is, oh shit, we shot most of the movie, but the final cut is due in 2 weeks, and the actors aren't available. We gotta put what we have together and make it into a movie.
We have an hour of a movie, but to get it on Tubi, we need 11 more minutes.
Well, yeah, that too.
Stretch.
Oh, mansies. There's a lot of scenes you see the intent behind making these scenes, but the way that they're pasted together doesn't really hang together particularly well. I think this is most notable in that it's done in the found footage style, which you can take it or leave it. I think with what they were doing, it lends itself. The found footage style does it more favors than if it were shot traditionally, I suppose.
I think so, but that style also gives them a lot of leeway in where they can skirt certain special effects or plot points, because we can just turn the camera off,
right,
and explain it like that.
But I'm wondering if, it was obviously shot intentionally that way, but it feels like there's a number of critical scenes where they just give us a card to read. Yeah. Like when they find Santa, there's a card that they found Santa. It's okay, that's kind of a big scene. Kind of probably would be a big revelation to literally any adult finding Santa, but no, it's treated with a card, and then it happens off screen, and then they come across Santa. Bit odd.
It is a bit odd. So let's just kind of situate this as, I guess the characters in the situation. So it stars these two characters, Lucy and Dustin, who are in a situationship where they kind of sort of already hate each other, but they host a horror program, a monster hunting program on YouTube to, I assume, dozens of followers.
There are dozens of us. Dozens. So, right. Dustin is he's the camera, but he's also sort of just, like you said, a situationship is probably the best way of putting it. Mm. They're not really official, but they're fooling around, hanging around each other. So they go to Hastings, which is Lucy's hometown, for Christmas, and Lucy is a 20-something dropout who runs a monster hunting channel. And she's one of these, too cool for school types. Sort of performatively hates everything. And has a bit of a chip on her shoulder. And we find out
why she has the chip on her shoulder, because they're going home for Christmas. They're going to her parents' house for Christmas, where her mother and father are divorced, but this was not immediately apparent to me, because the woman that answers the door seems too young to be her mother, and I assumed it was her sister.
Yeah, we find out that's her mother. And her parents divorced when she was 7. The dad is... He's an American, right?
He is, and he's actually kind of I won't say a famous actor, but a very a very prolific
well-known
actor.
Prolific actor. There you go.
Mark Arnold.
He seemed very familiar.
Okay, so I looked this guy up. He's been in a couple of things you've probably seen, but probably not as, the main character. He's in like Blade Runner 2049 and Zack Snyder's Justice League and Teen Wolf, but he's, not the main character in any of these.
It's a swing and a miss on all three. Literally have not seen any of those films.
Wow, Bradford. Okay, he was also in A Christmas Story Christmas, which we have covered on this podcast.
Yes, I have seen that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the town constable.
He is. He is the police. And he says he's bringing his new girlfriend home for Christmas. I don't recall if we see her or
We do not see her to my recollection. She's in the car.
Right.
He's sort of stood up as this silver fox who sleeps around a lot, and that's kind of the main reason that they separated.
Yeah.
We'll find out more about that later.
She's in the car and presumably stays in the car for the entire film.
I mean, it's probably the safest place based on what we see, because nobody gets attacked and pulled out of a car in this movie.
That's true.
Everybody has all the werewolves have werewolf strength. But it doesn't occur to them to smash through a car window. So every car scene is kind of, there's no stakes really.
No, because that would be a vampire movie.
See,
thank you.
Get you a host who can do both.
So Lucy and Dustin, they decide they're not about this family BS right now, so they go off into the woods because, as she points out to her followers as he's recording, so Monster Hunters, we have a rare full moon on Christmas Eve, and they're in the park hunting werewolves. And wouldn't you know it, they happen across Santa Claus right there in the park.
Like I said, this is met with less fanfare than you would think.
Right. Like it's somehow even less amazing than it is when Santa shows up in the park in Elf. It just kind of happens.
He's just kind of there. He gets attacked by a werewolf.
And thus the Werewolf Santa.
He gets turned into a werewolf Santa.
And here comes the first point where I had to stop the movie and just kind of admire the very low budget DIY aesthetic, because you see Santa kind of get his guts ripped out, and they just look like wet garden hoses that they've covered in like red food coloring.
It looked like a plastic mold to me, almost like a Jello mold that they've turned upside down and painted red.
Probably, yeah. But it just took me back to my high school days when we were making crap movies in my backyard, and we tried to eviscerate somebody, and the only thing we had to use was slices of processed deli meat, and we just stuck it on a person's stomach and said, look at that, look at those guts.
It's a wonder you're not in Hollywood right now.
You were never in any of those, were you, Brad?
I was not in any of your films. No.
Aw.
This was before we met one another, as I recall.
It was. I think you were a grade beneath me. Or you were?
I was a couple grades beneath you, I thought.
That's right, because you were in my brother's grade, weren't you? I
was a year above your brother.
Okay, so you weren't in any of the movies that they made.
No, I was in one, late one, but that's about it. I wasn't in any of the ones they did for school, though. No.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, like when we say making movies, we mean school projects, school video projects.
Yes.
I
wasn't in any of those.
Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
It's all right.
But
all right.
It just takes me back to my high school project where we tried to make our own version of Beowulf, and we tried to turn it into a monster movie. And our version of the monster was a guy in a werewolf mask with paper claws painted black. But because we couldn't have a full werewolf costume, we just said, you know what? Fuck it. Just wear a white t-shirt and basketball shorts. That's good enough. We thought that was hilarious.
It's your modern interpretation of Grendel. You're doing great. It's almost
brave. Literally the Teen Wolf. But there he is.
It's a brave interpretation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is game recognized game here. Like I respect the minimum hustle.
Yeah, they tried, right?
There's a little bit of effort going on here.
Yeah, so we have that, and I think it's also implied that Lucy and Dustin are both like drunk and high out of their minds for a good part of this movie.
Yeah.
She has weed cookies, and this actually plays into a plot point later. It's Chekhov's weed cookie. Because is it Santa that ends up eating it?
I think, right? Santa turns it, like, she loses her pot cookies, and then Santa immediately turns into a werewolf.
But he still has some... he still has some of his Santa instincts, including trying to fly the sleigh and eat cookies. So
right.
he eats her cannabis cookie. And then we'll get into the implications of that a little bit later, I guess. Or actually, we'll get into it now, because we need to talk about the way that this movie has werewolves work. Which is, it's kind of vampire rules, right? It's kind of zombie rules. You get bitten, but you don't get consumed, you get turned. Which is usually, I don't know that much about werewolves. Is that usually the rule of thumb for werewolves?
See, it's kind of half and half, because like sometimes you get eaten. It's the same with vampires, though. Like sometimes you are just straight eaten as like
sometimes you're a buddy and sometimes you're a snack, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you're the new host and sometimes you're the new snack.
I guess it depends on how much the vampire likes you or thinks you taste good.
But it should also be noted that like we've already established that Santa Claus gets eviscerated, and yet he still becomes a werewolf.
He does. But the reason that the weed cookie ends up being important is that Santa ends up being under the influence of both the werewolf curse and cannabis, and ends up straight up consuming most of his victims.
Right.
Which means that nobody else... Yeah, Santa gets the munchies, and so everybody else nobody gets turned, so to speak, towards the end of the movie. They all get just straight up consumed. But not real, like, some people we see so many bodies, and most of them are just eviscerated and not really straight up eaten. But
it's a way to save money on having to make werewolf makeup for all these other actors.
Yes. We got
let's just kill them.
We got the werewolf, or we got the makeup lady off of Fiverr for an afternoon. We're gonna roll with it.
We have the one mask, everybody, okay? Don't mess it up.
We have the one communal mask for everybody to use.
But then this movie becomes the horror movie where everyone starts stumbling around in the dark because they're looking for the werewolf Santa, but also they're still trying to produce their show. Yeah. But also mom and dad are in tow, and they're just trying to keep everybody safe.
There's some choices. So like after they run into the werewolf, they escape it. And then they have the idea to break into the police station where her dad works in order to like investigate. So it's never truly outlined, but it's somewhat implied that I think there's a title card at the beginning that there's a native population of werewolves that live in, forgive me, Sussex?
Hastings.
Hastings. So they go to investigate, they find some silver bullets in their dad's drawer. And then they just leave and keep exploring. They go commandeer Lucy's mom to drive them around.
Right. That's how mom and dad get pulled into this.
Yeah, and because Lucy's car got taken for driving under the influence.
Yeah.
And so mom's along for the ride. They go, next thing is they go to the woods.
They find
the swingers, right?
Yeah, the swingers. They call it dogging.
Dogging.
Which I think is great.
Oh, no. First they go get Lucy's childhood friend, excuse me.
Yeah, they go get Rupert because we need another body in this movie because someone's about to die.
Right. He's like the local conspiracy theorist, cryptid nut, and Lucy's childhood friend. But yes, in a very strange twist of fate. So all the swingers, as you can expect, get killed because this is a horror movie, and anybody having any deviant sex whatsoever is terrible and must die, because that's the rules of horror movies, right?
Yes, because and not just that, but also because this is a Christmas movie and Santa Claus caught them being naughty.
Yeah.
So
there's that too.
You get it both ways.
They don't really even get into that. Like, Santa's not trying to dispense justice. He's just being a werewolf, right?
Oh yeah, he's totally just being a werewolf, but like
because he steals a baby later. He's not operating on any sort of moral code.
No, he's not. They're not explicit about it, but you just kind of take it like you understand that the rules of a Christmas movie, and like, okay, well, Santa is definitely going to think these people are being quote unquote naughty, and also he's a werewolf, so yeah, they got to go.
Yeah,
but it's also revealed as they meet these swingers, quote unquote, dogging in the woods, that Lucy's mom was apparently one of them at some point, because they all recognize her and say, "Hey, I thought you said you couldn't make it this week."
Right. Same time next week, Deborah. Or what's her name?
Carol.
That's right. Because it's a Christmas movie. Get it?
Yep. There you go.
All right. So all the doggers die, but then Dustin basically like makes a last stand for some reason.
He just randomly decides that he's tired of all of this.
So he wants to leave, but he gets killed. Right?
Yeah.
But it's really weird. Because like the way it's written, he's like, yeah, I'm out. I'm going to go get an Uber back to London or whatever. Yeah. Well, he does that. He tries to do that once, but he does it a second time after the swingers get killed. But then he like has this weird little speech where he's like, every dog has his day. Like he's doing something brave and heroic, but it's like not really clearly defined what that is. He's not like running away to buy them time, is he?
I think it's probably a little of both. Yeah, like he's running away, but also decides like me running away is going to buy them time because it's going to distract the werewolf.
Yeah,
maybe?
But it's not really made clear, however.
No, because he dies immediately.
They come across his corpse in like the next scene.
Yeah.
So now, Ripley, Riley, what's his name? Conspiracy theory kid.
Rupert.
Okay. I will remember that for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Rupert is now cameraman.
He is now cameraman.
Yes. Because I guess they decided at some point that he was a more interesting character, and it was more interesting to kill off Dustin, I guess.
Yeah. So like 20 minutes from the end, they finally introduce like stakes to the film.
Yes.
Because they're in the middle of the woods and they hear the church bells going off for the midnight mass, and they realize, oh snap, Werewolf Santa's going to be attracted to the town and eat everybody at church.
Right. We have on our way to the church, they go into a fun fair, into like a haunted house, which is kind of a strange scene. I mean,
it's a strange turn to take. Yeah.
I got what they were going for. They had a haunted house. They wanted to shoot in it. There's some stakes because Lucy only has one bullet left, and there's a bunch of werewolves and jump scares, and you're like, oh, she's gonna use the one bullet.
Yeah.
And run out of a bullet. And they were chasing him in because he stole a baby. I think it's implied. Did they find the baby?
See, I think I missed this. I think I assumed that he stole like the baby Jesus from the nativity scene.
No, he stole a baby from a couple walking with a stroller.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I just turned away for the wrong moment.
Like right as they're about to go into the haunted house, there's like a couple with a stroller, and there's a baby crying as Santa like kills the dad and then knocks over the mom, steals the baby, and runs into the haunted house. But
good Lord. Okay.
Yeah. But then they find the mom dead. See, that's the weird thing, though. She was only like a little bit dead, so she should get turned. I don't know. Anyways, so they go in and they find the werewolf, but Lucy forgets to turn the safety off and is unable to fire the weapon, finishing the werewolf. And then they escape and they just like go back to the car.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a whole lot of like, I guess it sets a vibe, but
it's sure. But they ultimately track the werewolf back to the church where there is mysteriously nobody around.
Yeah.
I guess thankfully there's nobody around. But this is where everything kind of comes to a head because Lucy has been bitten by the werewolf in the funhouse, and now she's starting to turn.
Right.
And it is suddenly revealed that her father is actually the alpha werewolf.
Right, because he got drunk one night, went to the cave, killed all the werewolves, but apparently the rule is if you kill all the werewolves, you become the alpha werewolf. And you're able to control, you can turn it on and off at will.
First of all, I think that's bullshit, but I'm willing to accept it.
It's Santa Claus rules, but for werewolves, basically.
It is. You keep what you kill. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Great.
So he's the alpha werewolf, and he's kind of bummed out that Santa got the munchies and ate all the werewolves because I guess he wants to lead the werewolves now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably better ways to do it than that, but sure. And then he starts egging on Lucy to kill him and her mother and herself, basically.
Right.
By saying all of these terrible things. Maybe some half-truths buried in there. Just being an awful shit of a human. I must say, everybody in this movie is pretty much like universally terrible to one another.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, right?
It was like, I can see what they were going for. They wanted it to be kind of not lighthearted, but they were going for a certain vibe, I think, and I think they went too hard on it, and it's like it didn't work, I think.
Yeah, they're going for that kind of
cynical anti-Christmas kind of this ain't your daddy's Christmas movie. We say fuck and are mean to each other, but it's like when she gets bitten, her mom's first reaction is you're getting blood all over the car seats. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, you can rein it in a little bit. You can
Just
give these people some humanity for one another.
No. But everybody is just so vile and so just disinterested in each other.
Yeah.
Oh man. But then there's also like a contradiction in the rules at this point, because like we find out that so if you kill all the werewolves, you become the head werewolf. But also if you kill the head werewolf, you get cured of being a werewolf
somehow. I don't know.
So like if Lucy shoots her dad, which is how this movie ends, but that it's done so that she can save herself, but also save Santa Claus.
Right.
But by killing the head werewolf, who is the head werewolf?
She should be the alpha werewolf, right? You would think.
Unless the alpha werewolf is Santa because he's the one that infected her?
But Santa's like immediately cured after she kills her dad.
Right. See, I don't know. We're trying to connect these dots, and I don't think the movie even does it.
Anyways.
Yeah,
so
anyways.
She caps her dad. Santa's immediately better. By the way, what is a Santa's? Like, is that a British thing? If we have British listeners, please let us know. Like, what's a Santa's Cove? Where they're in the church, and there's like a cardboard alcove made just like, it's got tinsel hanging over it, and it's called Santa's Cove, right? Santa's Cave? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure because
I think it's just a thing they made up for this movie, right?
I think it's a thing they made up because I typed Santa's Cove into Google, and Google's genius AI said, "Oh yeah, Santa's Cove is a town in Delaware." So even Google doesn't know.
Some genius. Am I right?
The Santa portion of the nativity, because we want to represent all religions.
Yes, the religion of merciless consumerism, and anyways,
avarice and greed, ahoy.
Let's see. Yeah, Santa's better, and then we smash cut to like a couple months later, I guess.
I guess 1 year later, like the next Christmas.
Right. And apparently she's actually like Rupert's there, and maybe he's like either implied to be a close friend or maybe even a boyfriend now.
Right. And
because they tell each other they tell each other they loved each other in the horror house, which I guess is like the one piece of character development, but again, not really selling it with this movie, with this delivery. Because Lucy's problem as a character is she's like so blasé and non-committal about anything, you can't tell whether it's supposed to be like a sarcastic delivery or not. So it kind of undermines any character development or genuine thoughts, genuine expressions she may have.
It borders
I'm not alone
on the actress being disinterested in her own role.
That's kind of, yeah. I get that they're going for like a nihilistic 20-something lady, but like,
right.
You have to turn it off for a minute if you want any sort of like pathos on your character, I guess. Anyways,
we're supposed to like our main characters around here.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
the movie ends on a fun little tag where we discover that Santa and his sleigh arrive at Lucy's house, only to be sucked up into a UFO that we only hear about because it happens off screen.
Yep, because Rupert said there's UFOs in the town too, along with a gang of pedos that are that meet at the church. Anyways, that was a movie.
That was barely a movie. Just like this is barely a podcast.
True.
We've knocked it out in 30 minutes and change. And all I can say, friends, is it's time for us to go to the crankometer because we have things to do in our lives, and our lives are only so short.
I mean, we could Santa's Workshop it, but I think we've already made our primary complaints with this movie clear.
Yeah, and if anything else, I could spend some time harping on the found footage angle. Because one thing, okay, for a low budget production like this, it works. It's a way to get around some having to do things expensively and you save some money. I'm fine with that. But then what bugs me about it is that when they shoot the movie with a professional camera, like they clearly did, but then they put the cheap looking overlay onto it to make it look homemade.
Yeah.
Like all the numbers and the dates that you see are very clearly put in with like, Audition or After Effects or something. Yeah. And it's just, it would actually be more realistic if they just shot this on a crappy, like consumer grade camcorder. But then other podcasts would start complaining that this movie looks like shit. So I don't know what you do.
I'm in agreement with that angle. If you wanted to go found footage, you go all the way in. And it probably would have like glossed over some of the effects, right?
Absolutely.
Not looking their best.
Some of the shoddy gore effects would have looked a little bit more convincing because like it's grainy and you don't exactly know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And
it goes back into like the core thing of horror movies being way scarier when you don't actually get a full shot of the monster.
Right. And I guess a good comparison would be like with a movie like Cloverfield. It takes a lot of money to make a movie look that authentic and homemade, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's where the money went, was to make this look like, someone's holding a camcorder running around town. This was like very clearly, we just have a professional camera and we put, the date and the time in with After Effects, and it's still like the whip pans. Every time the camera like statics out, it's like a whip pan, and it just messes with my head.
It takes me out of it.
Right.
Yeah, it does. Right. It looks like we're going sideways into the Matrix rather than like static or something like that. I don't know.
It's almost like a sitcom transition to some other scene.
Yeah,
but it's not funny. None of it's funny.
Yeah, I think I've made my complaints about like the structure and the writing of this movie pretty clear. Like they went too hard on like the whole like cynic, everybody's terrible to each other thing.
Right. The vibe is off.
The vibes are a little rancid, right?
The vibes are so rancid for a movie whose central gimmick is so inherently silly. Werewolf Santa, it's right there.
Yeah.
Have fun with it,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Okay. I think we've workshopped it enough. Also would have been a lot more fun to play with like the whole he's still Santa, but he's also a werewolf thing where he has like a code of morals, I suppose. Could maybe have some fun with that and like use that to their advantage, but
like Santa dispensing werewolf justice and not just being a monster off screen.
Yeah. And I get it at 70 minutes. You probably want to keep it tight, but that would have been interesting. Or have he has to be in direct moonlight to become Werewolf Santa, and so you get good Santa. It's like Ikaruga. You get when you flip to the dark side and you get good Santa, but then the moon comes out and then suddenly he's a threat. That could be fun. Anyways,
have you ever? There was a movie came out a couple years ago. It was just called Werewolves. Are you familiar with it?
I am not familiar with it. They do that.
They play with stuff like that. Like they play with the conventions of like the moonlight and like characters that know that they've been infected by the werewolf, like I guess virus, don't want to turn. So like to go out into the night, air, so, they like hide underneath like overhangs so the moonlight doesn't actually hit their skin.
See, that's fun. That's like actually how people would behave if they knew that werewolf curses were real, right? You try to make some logic of it.
Right. You would try to game it out and figure out like, well, what can I do and what can't I do?
Yes.
And this movie just doesn't, it doesn't really, it's like it's not even interested in any of that stuff.
It's interested in creating a Christmas horror movie, which it did.
Yeah, it got clicks on Tubi from us.
You're
welcome, guys. 2 clicks. And, I hope your wildest dreams have come true from us watching and reviewing this film.
I have no animus towards the filmmakers. All the best to you. But
I truly do not have any animus toward these people because there is another Christmas horror movie that this filmmaker has produced. Errol Anthony Hales is their name. The movie is called Advent, and the premise is a lot more interesting than Werewolf Santa. Let me hit you with this.
Okay.
A girl comes across a cursed Advent calendar and plays a game against the devil in the run-up to Christmas.
Ooh, I'm already intrigued. That actually sounds somewhat interesting.
Right. And also, it's under 80 minutes, just like this movie.
Was this a follow-up, or did he make that before this?
Yeah, this came out the year after and stars a lot of the same actors.
Okay. Maybe we could put that on the dance card.
Yeah, we may have to follow this up instead of what our other holiday offering was going to be.
And well, it's up to you since we want to stick with the Tubi theme. And then we get to talk about
it's also on Tubi,
calendars.
so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. With that, saying that we have no animus against the filmmakers of people who starred in this film, let's go with the crankometer.
Heck yeah. So the crankometer, friends, is our patented XY axis for rating Christmas movies. The X axis is how Christmassy it is, and the Y axis is how good it is. So Bradford, I'm going to hit you with this now. How Christmassy is Werewolf Santa?
Kinda, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all there, right? Like it's Christmas Eve. You got Santa Claus. They go to church. You get church bells and stuff. It's all the stuff is there, but it's just in such poor spirit.
It's a little by the numbers, and then like what you said, the rancid vibes kind of. Maybe some people that's Christmas to them if they have really terrible relatives, but
I mean that is kind of true. That's true to life, I suppose.
Yeah, I wouldn't go like super negative. I wouldn't even.
No,
maybe like a 1.
Maybe like a 1 because it's there.
It does what it says on the tin. It is about ostensibly Santa. So yeah, I'd say like a 1, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am okay with this. Yeah. Now then, the Y-axis. How good was Werewolf Santa? And boy, we're gonna be dipping into negative numbers for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like. It's not the worst thing we've watched.
It's not the worst thing that we've watched from either like a technical standpoint, a philosophical standpoint, or anything like that. No. But it's just not very good, is it? And it's not, and it doesn't veer into so good or so bad it's good.
Right. You can see so many of the seams in this, like things like missed opportunities. Like we talked about, the found footage element kind of doesn't work the way it's supposed to because it's just such a cheap production. All the little things that we could nitpick about it just kind of bring it down. It's opinion.
Death by 1,000 cuts, and I just think it doesn't hang particularly well together, despite being found footage.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely a premise that they came up with first and then realized, then we have to make the movie.
Right, yes. I mean, I think -2 would be charitable. -3 is probably where my heart truly lies.
Yeah, I would say a -3. Like, I don't want to be that mean to it, but I'm also going to be very realistic and say this is
not something. Yeah,
I would not revisit this, is what I'm saying.
No.
But a -3, I think, is where I'm going to land.
Yeah.
So a +1,
Agreed.
-3. That's our crankometer for Werewolf Santa, friends. Whew, boy.
I mean, it was 70 minutes long. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if this had been like a solid hour and a half?
Yeah, like a 2-hour epic Christmas horror movie.
Let's not be ridiculous, but I feel like even 20 more minutes would have been asking too much, right?
Trying to squeeze 20 more minutes out of this stone is just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, with 20 more minutes, you could build out the Werewolf Santa lore, or have 2 or 3 more like really ridiculous kill sequences or something.
Or the scene where they like actually meet Santa for the first, like come across Santa for the first time and see his silhouette against the moon. That'd be a great shot. Like that sort of thing. I don't know. But then again, you would have to film these things then.
Right, like so that they don't just encounter Santa Claus on the ground in his sleigh as unceremoniously as humanly possible.
Right.
There's a fun premise here. It's just I don't think they had the money to do it justice.
Right. True.
What we're saying is that we need to see a big budget remake of Werewolf Santa.
Yes. Absolutely. And by absolutely I mean if you get around to it.
Yeah, I'll kick in a couple of bucks.
I don't know if I would.
See, no. See, now that's opening the door into Christmas Creeps Presents Werewolf Santa. That's a whole other fiasco waiting to happen.
We've decided to break out from the podcasting scene and use our cachet of 100 ? Listeners to break into filmmaking. You're welcome, everybody.
Listen, friends, there are only so many Christmas movies out in the world, and for us to continue this podcast, we have to start making our own.
We've gotta. It's gonna be what do they call it in industry? Top to bottom. We're doing the whole thing top to bottom. We're just staying in-house.
We've cornered the market top to bottom on the Christmas movie to Christmas podcast pipeline.
Exactly.
If Hallmark can do it for themselves, so can we.
And guess what? We're going to give every single one of our movies a +5. You're welcome.
Yep. We're going to bot farm this so that they all have perfect ratings on Amazon and Letterboxd.
I think we did a great job creating this movie, Joseph. Notes.
I worked on this, and I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you and me.
Yes.
Proud of Johnny Five, the human robot, who I'm sure did some kind of work on the project.
He did. He's craft services.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
J-Man's craft service table would just be nothing but bowls of craft dinner, As a joke. It would be a goof.
That wouldn't be that bad.
I'm not going to say no to that.
I'd never say no to the Blue Box Blues.
That's true. That is true, my friends.
If Johnny wants to please me, he's only got to cheese me. All right.
Love it.
I think that's as good of a note as any to end on.
That's right. We're coming up on the 45-minute mark, which is kind of where we wanted to land on. So thank you so much, friends, for listening to this ridiculous episode of Christmas Creeps. Thank you, Bradford, for joining me once again. It's always been a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine, my friend.
Bradford, do you want to plug anything before we go?
No, I'm good. Sandwiches are really good, right? Like,
yeah,
make a good sandwich. Bagels. In these, as the at least in the northern hemisphere, as it gets colder, consider carbs. They're your friend. Anyways, that's all I have.
The question I should have asked you, what have you been playing lately?
Oh, God. Mostly Hades 2. I've been absolutely devouring that. Although I've recently got into, I don't know if I say the Ball X Pit or Ball Pit.
Okay.
Is it like a Hunter situation? I don't know.
Maybe.
And it's basically art. Have you ever played those phone games where you like send all the little balls out and you have to destroy all the stuff? It's kind of like Arkanoid, but you have like infinite balls.
Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
It's that, but it's got like your usual modern gameplay hooks of like roguelite stylings, pick 3, meta progression, all of like the awful, wonderful hooks that people love and love to hate. It's got all of that. Farming, everything. I'm only a couple hours in, but I've at first I was like, all right, okay, one of these, and then it got its hooks into me, and I'm like, oh no, this might actually be something. Hades is good, but it's more Hades. If you liked Hades, it's excellent. If you did not care for Hades, you're not going to care for this.
Yeah, see, I liked Hades. I never finished it though.
Oh, okay. What about?
I don't know if 2 is for me yet.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Let's see. Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remake came out recently, and I've been playing that. Not as impressed with it as I was 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I realized that's because like the studio that made the 1 and 2 remake got shut down. And so 3 and 4 was just cobbled together by
other devs. Yeah.
Somebody, at Activision, I guess.
Got it.
Fine. Just last night started playing Cocoon on PlayStation. Yeah.
I've heard good things about that.
From
I never got around that.
One of the devs behind Limbo and Inside, which those games are great.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting more like that, but I'll dig more into that this weekend.
Are you going to play any spooky games? Do you get up to that during October?
I don't think about it is the problem. Like it's already like October 16th. I haven't thought about it at all.
It's never too late, my friend.
It is never too late. I don't know where to start.
I'm gonna play. Oh, I've also been playing a lot of UFO 50 again because it got re-released on the Switch, and I've gotten more golds and cherries than I ever did on the PC. And I'll probably play Night Manor, which is in the collection, which I've been saving for a dark and stormy night.
Excellent.
It's the horror game in that, and then we'll see where it goes.
I will cop to still playing Fortnite periodically because now they are doing the Halloween shit, and it's a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff.
Is it? And that must be like the weirdest shit ever. Where didn't they just do a K-pop Demon Hunters collab? So it's probably like half Scooby-Doo, half K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's Scooby-Doo, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Doja Cat's in there for some reason too.
Like Doja Cat, the musical artist.
Yes,
she's just there.
She's just
Fortnite.
there. But the thing with the Scooby-Doo thing, like you could buy the skins of Shaggy and Scooby to play as, and my wife loves Scooby-Doo, so I said, do you want to buy this so that you can watch me play as Scooby-Doo? And she said the most real thing. She was like, I don't know if I want to see Scooby-Doo shooting people. And you know what? Totally fair.
That's the thing that always kind of it's interesting, right? Fortnite is you have like all these massive brands, and it's like you do realize this is a game where people run around shooting each other in the face. Granted, there's not like gore or anything like that,
right?
But it's still Hatsune Miku like wielding an AK-47, like shooting Rick Sanchez in the face, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's so wild for brands to be like, no, that's cool. We'll
fine.
Put this
Scooby-Doo
we'll
running around on 2 legs holding an M16. Why not?
Right. It's wild to me, but whatever.
Yeah, so like we're pretty much done with like all the Halloween stuff in it because like there's not much to do. But we popped in and we saw it. It was like, okay, we're done with that now. Good Lord, why am I still trapped in this? I don't know what they've done to me.
That's software as a service for you. Games as a service, my friend.
That's the Epic Games experience.
You can check out, but you can never leave.
That's true. It's like a damn roach motel.
All right.
Oh man, I know that was a Hotel California reference. I went a different way.
It's totally fine.
Thank you for listening to Christmas Creeps. We're going to sign off now. If you want to join the conversation, you can find us on the web at christmascreeps.com, where we have links to all of our social media accounts and our Discord channel where the real conversations happen. And all I can say from there is stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have one more good Halloween episode before spooky season wraps up. So we'll see you on the flip side.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, friends.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas.